Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Johnny Davis Live. We're here on this April 18th, 2025. What a beautiful day it is as we prepare for this Easter vacation or this Easter weekend. I know a lot of people are getting ready for a lot of activities on this weekend. So we are happy to be here. We even have a couple of tournaments going on this weekend across the country. You can go to icarefightplatform.com. As you can see on the screen there, we have a special guest here today. It's him, and he and his wife will be hopefully chatting here a little bit today. We got that Wi-Fi going, right, and everything. We're going to be chatting a little bit and having a good time. Brandon Howie, he's out of Mobile, Alabama, and I bet you he's probably going to say, well, I'm not really out of Mobile. I'm out of this little town, maybe somewhere else. That's what's, but I'm assuming it's Mobile, Alabama. He's going to straighten that out with it. He has a PKB tournament coming up, right? We'll tell you about that process, what we had to go through to make that happen. But that's coming up on May 17th, 2025 there in Mobile. It's going to be an exciting event and all. And he has a great gym over there, has great support over there. And we think that people are going to actually enjoy this event. So we're looking forward to chatting with him, learning a little bit more about who he is, what makes him tick, and all the other good stuff, along with his wife there. V will also be on the call. All right, a couple of quick things here. Obviously, we have our IKF World Classic that's going to be coming up here real soon, well, sooner rather than later, I guess, in the month of July, July 18th through the 20th. It's going to be on ICAF World Classic at the Westgate in the beautiful city of Las Vegas, Nevada. Hope you guys will plan to come out and attend that event. Registration is going on right now, icarefightplatform.com. Again, men, women, juniors. It's going to be an exciting event. We have great belts for you, great titles. We have the semi-contact is going to be happening on that Friday night, so it won't conflict with fighters, the full contact fighters that you have. That's going to be July 18th. 19th and the 20th in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Westgate Casino. Get registered now and save icarefightplatform.com. I think it's going to be a fun event for everyone. We, of course, as I was saying earlier, the PM, I should say that very clearly, the PMT, the PKB PMT sparring will be on that Friday night. I want to say that several times because it has been on the same day on that Saturday in the past. Now it's going to be the day before on that Friday, and I think people will be able to, get in and get out. www.pmtwest.org is going to be the site that you can register for the semi-contact edition. Obviously, also coming up in the fall, we have our IKF Fall Classic. It's going to be in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Sheraton Hotel, October 3rd and 4th. Get registered for that. Not yet. We haven't set it up yet. But soon we will be setting that up online on the platform. Hope you guys are planning to come out to that. All the styles will be there, international rules, unified rules, modified Muay Thai, full rule Muay Thai, and freestyle kickboxing also be back in the house. We also have our PKB PMT going on there at that event as well. So I hope you guys will plan to come to the IKF Fall Classic. Like I said, this time it's going to be at the Sheraton Hotel as opposed to the Landmark. We hope to be back at the Landmark in the summer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring up this young man who's come on board with us for the IKF PKB. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up one time for Brandon Howie. And while we got it going, V. Howie. There you go, guys.
Johnny, thank you for having us on.
Thank you.
You guys doing good?
Man, we're doing
Right, so we're gonna. It sounds like the Wi-Fi might be going in and out just a little bit, right? So we're gonna see if we can get through this.
I'm not
and
sure.
See how it sounds. Does that make sense?
Okay.
All right, right. There's definitely something's going on there with the Wi-Fi and all that. But listen, thanks for being on the show today. I certainly appreciate it. Tell me a little bit about your club and your gym over there.
We're Lion Pride Muay Thai. We're located down in Mobile, Alabama. We've been operating for just under 3 years now. I have 3 active fighters. We have a great community of people that are just training for fitness and hobby also. the only Muay Thai gym in our end of Mobile, Alabama, and we're doing phenomenal. The community really has taken a to us, and we're doing great things out here, man.
Well, got to go back a little bit, right? Because I mean, I got surprised on yesterday,
Uh
right?
oh,
By a blast from, well, it's not a blast from the past because actually Keith and I, we stay in touch all the time, right? Well,
I've
he's
known him
always
forever.
always going back and forth. Great guy, been knowing him for 150 years. I know I look pretty good for 150. I'm just saying,
You
right?
look great,
Uh,
Johnny.
yeah, but been knowing him for 150 years. Great guy. And when I posted that, you might have seen that he came on and said something. You got to tell me about that connection.
So I originally started training Muay Thai in Tampa, Florida. That's actually
Wow.
where I'm, kind of my home base before we started branching out and ended up here. I trained under Crew Ray Cole at Tampa Muay Thai, and Keith was training there also. And he was just an amazing guy, great attitude, super passionate martial artist. And with our passion of martial arts and just good vibes that we have, we instantly had a connection, and we
Wow.
always talked at the gym. And over the years, we've always kept in touch. I seen him up at the PKB in Atlanta a couple years back when I had my
Wow.
guys go up there and compete for the first time, and that was the first time I seen that guy in a while. But we keep in touch on social media, and as you know, like I know, Keith's an awesome guy.
Oh yeah.
Love
No,
love
he's an
Muay Thai,
awesome guy, and he's really smart. He's
very
really
much so.
smart. Sometimes he comes off a little, a little indifferent. But you can
The
sit
best ones
down
do.
and and talk with him a little bit, man. He knows a lot of knowledge about Muay Thai and kickboxing, and he has a interesting. I've had him on my show before. Right, and he has a very interesting perspective about where we are in the sport and some of the things we're doing. He's kind of very much somewhat of a purist, I guess, in Muay Thai. He definitely believes in it, but he has never ever not supported me and my different approaches to this game because my approach is a little bit different, right?
Yes,
Because I'm not so traditional. Because I think it's something that we need to, in order to advance it
yes, sir.
forward. Like I had a conversation with Chad, I think last week, we were talking about the entertainment Muay Thai, 9 rounds and all those type of things. That's me. And even though Keith is all in it, right?
Yep,
He still has said, you know what? I think it's the right thing to do. I think it's the
yep,
right thing to do. And with the PKBs and the PMTs, I mean, he's always support those and stuff. I love his open mindedness and stuff like that. So that endorsement alone, as I said on that quick message, was definitely a good one and everything. Even though I met you already and I have the same kind of vibe. So when you moved over to a mobile, what was it about that particular community that made you feel that you need to open a gym, a Muay Thai gym?
So if I'm in a place, Muay Thai must be there.
Ah, got it,
And there
got
was
it.
no Muay Thai. My wife can tell you, as much as I love teaching, I'm a practitioner. I still love sparring and being very active with the guys. And I moved here, and I'm like, babe, I haven't sparred in like 3 weeks. I'm
Oh
going
wow,
crazy. And I'm like, I need to start building something and connecting with people. And I would meet people at the local fitness gyms. I won't drop any brands. And I slowly started training people out of my apartment complex. And one thing led to another. We got our first location, and I had sparring partners again.
oh wow. So this is a little bit of selfishness going on.
Hey, as long as it benefits some other people a little bit, we're all good. Everybody won in the end, you know?
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. So you certainly are in it for you, but in it for others. What inspires you about teaching?
Teaching is, well, apart from just teaching, is providing Muay Thai in the way of a discipline that has structure to it and gives people a reason why. Like for me, the reason why was Muay Thai. As a youth, I had a upbringing in a single mother household. Hard head a little bit, and it took time for me to develop into the man that I am now. And Muay Thai had a huge role in that transformation that took part in my life. And being able to offer that to some of the young men and women that are in my gym, and even some of the adults. People get off work and they'll just sit home and just flick on the TV and do
Right.
nothing
Yeah.
with the time, and their health and their mental health deteriorates. And Muay Thai is the reason why they keep on pushing upward and beyond. And I love to be a source and a channel for that.
It gives
So
him a reason. Well, does she teach? Does she actually teach in the club as well? Your wife?
She teaches. She competed in your PKB also.
Oh, which one?
Atlanta,
Atlanta.
Oh, in
Oh no,
Atlanta.
it's
Okay, okay.
2022.
2022. Yep, she
V,
teaches. She's
let
on
me
the
talk to V
floor.
here for let me talk to V for a second. So, because she's sitting there, and I'm gonna tell you this, Brandon, because if I don't tell you this, you will not know it. You might look over it. That woman looks at you like she loves every grain, every inch of you, young man. That woman looks at you like she just loves some Brandon. And
Oh
that is
Lord.
a
He's
great
an amazing man.
that's a great, and I'm gonna touch on that a little bit
Oh
more, but I
Lord.
just thought I would go ahead. Look at it, he's blushing. I got him blushing. Right. But it's Johnny Davis Live, real talk, with real
Oh man.
solutions. Hey, B, tell me about your experience in teaching and stuff like that at the club.
So I started teaching when we opened up. It was actually not in the plans, but we couldn't get a hold of enough coaches.
Right.
So one day I was just kind of just thrown in there, and I really enjoyed teaching. I enjoy watching people grow, and through teaching, it's actually helped me as a practitioner too, to learn the different techniques and how to teach in a different way and learn in a different way.
I can't look over this fact either. I'm hearing something. I'm hearing something because in my voice, when people hear me talk a lot, if you listen to me closely, they'll say, "Man, what island are you from? You got to be from the islands or somewhere like that." What am I hearing from you?
My grandmother's from Puerto Rico.
Oh, get out! I knew it. I knew it. I was like, there's something else going on in here. you know. Oh, that is awesome, Brandon. When you teach students on a weekly based, daily, whatever, what about teaching them when you see them succeed in something? How does that make you feel?
That makes me feel amazing. Being a person that
Hold on,
set out.
I'm gonna interject.
Yes,
How
sir.
does it make you feel, and why? The why does it make you feel a certain way?
Well, why? First, purpose. Everybody wants purpose. And that role as a teacher, being able to instill these values and skills in people, is a service to humanity. Because like I know, because we're both martial artists, how it changes a
Yes,
human being to go the path of
yes,
a martial artist.
right,
To take a young seedling that has never been introduced to this, they're nervous, they're scared, they don't know what to expect, and you
right,
raise them up slowly through their ranks. They transform into something else.
right.
They learn a profound truth about themselves that they may have never had an opportunity to learn about if it were not for them starting on that path. And I'm the threshold. I have the opportunity and the privilege to be there for them to have that. So that
Wow.
purpose is the why. And I got all in the why. What was the other one?
Right, right. Well, I mean, I'm going to take that and run with it because I'm going to
Okay.
go somewhere else. I'm going to go somewhere else. So right now, I'm looking at this sharp, intelligent, well-spoken young man. Okay, but if you thought for 1 minute that I was going to look over the fact that you said you were naughty as a kid, then you don't know Johnny Davis live. Okay, right. So I need you to kind of go back a little bit for me, right? Oh, we go there, brother. We go there. Right? Go back for a minute because it's important for people to understand that we are not perfect beings. It is important for people to understand that it takes work to get to certain levels in your life as a
Yeah.
person, right? And you just don't come out like this way, whatever that might be, right? But I need to tell me about a time in your life that was pretty turbulent, and that you thought probably it was going to be over, and that you overcame or overcome, and now you're here today. Give me a time.
Vulnerability is not my strong suit, sir, but I appreciate you much and I'll share it,
Hey,
right?
hey, look, hey, but truth is, right?
Truth is. So, I grew up in Tampa, Florida, and it's a very diverse place with a lot of things going on. Without giving everything, but giving something, I've had run-ins with the law for nothing crazy. I never hurt anybody or anything.
Right.
I've had, experiences with, you know, not so much for myself, but around me and family, addiction, and that affected me in a lot of ways in my life, and family issues, between dynamics between my mother and my father. And like I said, me growing up without him present, fights, things of that nature, and running with the wrong crowd, um, trying to find myself a group to belong with and doing what I felt I needed to in order to be a part of their culture and their world. And it got me in trouble a few times.
Right. Right.
There's been times where, you know, I didn't know how long I had, you know, I didn't know how much longer I would be able to sustain that particular lifestyle doing the things I was doing. And, and I don't like to impose religion on anybody, but there was a period of time where I was introduced to God and I got into the church, and it was kind of almost parallel
Sure.
to the time I started doing Muay Thai. So it was
Right.
kind of a mixed
Spiritual
things
awakening.
where the spirituality, the mental and physical aspects all kind of came together at a point in my life where I really needed things to latch on to help me escape the path that I was on previously.
That is important.
Yeah.
What was the breaking point?
It's a little too harsh, man.
Well, I mean, listen, look, I've talked about cancer, diabetes, drug addiction,
Okay,
suicide.
I can
I've
tell you
talked, there's
exactly.
nothing, look, I've talked about transgender. I've had transgender people. I mean, there's not a topic that I've not talked. You know why I talk about all those things? It's because we are human beings. We're martial artists, but we go through the same experiences in life that other people. There has to be a break. Most of the time, when people go through difficulties and they decide to change, there is something that hits them really hard. For me, I will give a quick sum. Keep on thinking while you're thinking,
I
right?
got it.
But I had a friend of mine who I was doing some crazy stuff, and he got killed. He got shot, and that was a really big change for me to make me say, "Oh wow, this is not going to work." And it hit me in a way that was very different. It was very unique in a way that, as a young man at the time, again, a young man not as disciplined as I should be in some areas. You understand what I mean? That when and the things that we were out there, da 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 da. When he got killed in doing some of those things, I'm like, whoa, wake up call. That was mine. What is yours?
So the experience of mine was on the opposite end. I had a friend of mine who invited me to come to a particular spring break event out of town, a couple hours out of Tampa. It was like this big spring break party, and I was supposed to go. It was him and a couple guys I didn't know that he knew. And I'm going to put allegedly on everything I say after this, right?
Okay.
They went there, and allegedly they attempted a carjacking, which
Wow.
resulted in someone being shot and killed, allegedly by the person who was one of my very closest friends in life.
Wow.
And I was supposed to be there with them.
Mm.
They all have been since arrested and are doing extremely long stints in jail. The only reason I didn't go is because a old buddy from my childhood had recently uh, had a daughter, and they were doing like a baby birthday party or something, and he invited me, and I said, okay, I'll go to that instead. So his daughter's birthday saved me from going to this event, which would have probably just by association had me not here talking to you right now.
Right, right. Do you
That
think
was
that
it.
was somehow somewhat of divine intervention?
I seen that I got a second chance and took it.
And you took it. How,
Yep.
how did life change for you after that though? I mean, how did you wake? Did you wake up a little different? Did you just kind of get taught working? I mean, what was it that you started doing that was different from obviously not hanging out with those guys? But what else was it?
It got real quiet. I'll say that.
Exactly.
When you separate from the chaos, it gets real quiet. It gets a little lonely, and the urge to jump back out there is present. But you have to fill that time with constructive things. That's, I started to try to educate myself, started reading, started trying to get employment that I felt would help to raise my level of articulation and intellect. I started working out, fitness. This was before Muay Thai at this point. I
Right.
started doing fitness and working out and stuff. And it was a lot of just time to reflect, just alone by myself, no friends or anything. I had just the great separation of Brandon from old Brandon and everything that was attached to him. And that's what
A
it was
lot
like.
of people do not understand the importance of what you just said.
Yeah.
A lot of people are so, I know grown-ups right now who are so connected with their friends that they are messing up their marriages, they're messing up their jobs and everything because that's my buddy. No, you grown, fool. You
Yep.
got to go to work. You can't be hanging out with Billy and Bob and all of that, doing all this crazy stuff. I mean, I hang out with nobody. I always say, people say, well, you're lonely at the top. Whether I'm at the top or wherever you want to put me, they're correct. I have some really good friends,
Yeah.
right? That I call on, they call on me, I'm there, right? But we don't hang out. Every once in a blue moon, if they happen to come to town or I happen to go to town, we'll go by and get a bite to eat. That's it. I mean, hey, when you're getting older, there's no going to the club.
Nope.
There's no, just hanging out doing nothing. Everything. I'm a businessman, right?
Yes,
And so everybody who's in my circle who are probably like my best friend or somewhat in martial arts. I mean, that's kind of the way it is. They say that, if you hang around with 4 drug addicts, you would be the 5th one.
The 5th one. Exactly.
Right. And so people, and especially young people who might check out this broadcast, they need to understand the importance of you are judged by the company that you keep. Right. And when you go in to get a job and you got to bring your best friend with you and you dressed all whatever, right? You're not going to get that job. Right. And I remember when I was a general manager, in fact, when somebody would come with somebody, I would most definitely not hire that person because they were not showing a level of independence. So what you are saying is absolutely true. Let me go back really quick to the trainer aspect in you.
Yes, sir.
At your close, because now you've given me a big window, right?
Yes, sir.
How does that life that you lived, right, the things that you did, help you tap into the youth even more today?
There is nothing that they could be going through that I can't connect to them with. I know how to talk to them. I know where they're at. I know where they're at. I know where they think they're at. And I can meet them there and kind of carefully and delicately pull them away from it a little bit. And they'll listen to me because I'll word it a certain type of way where they can receive what I'm saying. You see?
What do you think the hardest thing about being a trainer is, though?
Juggling personalities and the individual insecurities or egos, or like the way that people view themselves, and trying to bring everything to like a balance. It's like you get extremes on all different directions. Some people are too cocky. Some people have really poor self-esteem. Some people are rude. Some people are too much. And you have to it's a lot of me reaching here, here, and here to help center these people. And it takes some energy. That's the hardest part. The punches and kicks and all that, that's easy. That's fun. That's the fun stuff. Get your hands up. That's fun. But
Right. But there's a deeper part that you got to reach in order for them to have some sense of balance.
Yeah, if you're a coach, you're doing more than just teaching techniques.
Right. Well, let me ask you this as well. Since your wife is here, but your wife is actually a nurse, correct?
Yes, sir.
She's a nurse by trade. What type of nurse are you, V?
Right now, I'm working at a nursing home, rehab.
At a
rehab center.
Look, you and my wife gonna have a great conversation. You don't know that that's a whole nother story. I won't put that all out here right now. Some people know, right? We're business people, right, and all that. But you guys gonna have hey, Brandon, she might get transferred. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. That has been our second. In other words, like I'm into this. She's into that.
Okay.
Senior care is everything. Senior care is everything. She's gone from the bottom to the very top, right? And she's still at the top and doing a fantastic job. If you meet her, you don't think you have met her. You met her at the thing.
I did.
But when you start talking about that, that's a whole nother spectrum. You guys got to have that conversation. It's something else. We'll talk about it more, Brandon, in private.
Yes, sir.
you know, and stuff. But where I was going, the was about when it comes to the relationship. I talked to a lot of people about different things, and have you guys have defined a balance
Yes.
in like your private time versus the gym time? V, speak out on that part and how you guys have come to some type of balance.
So there's a coach Brandon, and then there's a husband Brandon.
All
So I have to make that
right, now
distinction.
let's go.
Coach Brandon, I have to remove all the emotion away and just focus. It's on business, teaching properly, and getting the technique right. And
And then
then
you get him
husband
home and you kick his butt.
Brandon, and then husband Brandon is the loving, caring Brandon. So that's two things I've had to do.
Yeah, but to my point, this is what Brandon, I got to mess with you a little bit. So, Coach Brandon, I got to
Yes,
be
sir.
respectful. I'm going to be respectful now. I'm going to say, okay, well, okay, Coach, I'll do whatever you're going to say. When she gets home, no, let me tell you something. Don't you ever. I've been told that. But great. But it's great that you guys can have a balance like that and be entrepreneurs, right? And have a marriage, because a lot of people can't do that because there's a lot of friction that goes on, and they take the work to home and the home to work. And
Yeah.
there has to be certainly some type of balance. Brandon, clearly you love the sport of Muay Thai. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. What do you feel like is missing from the sport of why we can't go to the top echelon of other contact sports like MMA, like boxing, and even like bare knuckles? They're doing their thing. What do you think that might be missing in the sport of Muay Thai?
It's it's gonna for Muay Thai. This might end up being controversial, and for all the people in the Muay Thai world,
Real talk.
I'm just giving
This
an opinion. All right.
real talk.
I feel it's a cultural thing because us. I'm a purist. You know, we YN. All my fighters fight with Prajids and Monkongs. Our Muay crew and our testing and everything. And I grew up watching these legendary ties from the golden era. So I'm definitely a purist of Muay Thai.
Right.
Americans in general are only fans of fighting. In general, the average fans. It's to my opinion that a lot of mixed martial arts athletes are very capable fighters, but from like a technical standpoint, their striking is not as well developed and refined as like a kickboxer or a Muay Thai fighter who specializes
Right.
in just a single discipline, or a jujitsu fight or jujitsu player who specializes in jujitsu.
Right.
Even though some of the quality of the strikes or the grappling may not be top tier as a purist of each one of those disciplines, it's violent and exciting enough for a general audience to appreciate because of marketing, because of having heroes and key figures that people can identify themselves with.
Right.
For Muay Thai, we need to get key fighters into the limelight. I see they're trying to do that with like Luke Leslie on one championship and
Right.
uh, Asa, all those guys. But we need more of those, and we need to maybe bring bigger names here and beat them here. And that will
Right.
give the American audience a reason to want to latch on to these heroes. And that would in turn make Muay Thai more popular because you're going to keep this audience who feels some type of an emotional attachment and engagement with it beyond just the fighting. And then because Muay Thai is exciting, you don't need to add anything to a Muay Thai fight. Your guy's getting elbowed in the face, knee, there's blood and guts and everything. So
Now,
it's that component I think is what's lacking. That is kind of not bringing it. in an American audience like the bare knuckle, because you notice they typically will endorse the start of one of these new fighting promotions off of a new style like that with a retired mixed martial artist or
Right,
like a boxer or someone who people
right,
knows. Like for Muay Thai, we don't have that. It's not like we got a
right.
promotion where it's like this big American Muay Thai guy is putting out this promotion and he has this
Yeah.
following. And I think even if an MMA guy did it, but made it Muay Thai and stood out in front of it, that might even work.
Hey, Brandon,
Yes, sir.
Brandon, we need Justin Bieber to kickbox and Muay Thai.
Okay.
That's what we need. We need that
Live streaming.
stardom.
We
Right. We
need
need
some
that
circus.
stardom.
It needs
Right.
a little bit of circus. I
Right.
hate to say it. It needs a
No.
little bit of circus.
No, it does. It does because and listen now, but it also needs the entertainment factor. And again, if
Yes.
you heard my conversation with Chad, you know where I'm going already, right? This
Yes,
is
sir.
why I come in so aggressively saying, well, look, we need more rounds, right? In order to
Yep.
compare the athleticism with MMA and with boxing. You're talking about 25 minutes, 36 minutes of fighting, but in Muay Thai right now it's only 15. That's one of the big arguments and
Yep.
pushes I've been saying for years that listen, we're gonna have to bring the athleticism up, right, to show people that and make people get the bang for their buck. So that's why I say more rounds in Muay Thai. That's why we've done the 9-round fights, right, and things. But they're 2-minute rounds, but they don't really look at that. They look at the ability to have chapters in a story of a fight, if you understand what I'm saying. And that
Yes.
brings more butts in the seats. And yes, we need a little bit more boom, boom, boom. Hey, did you see that little clip I put out yesterday with about me doing the ring walk?
Yeah, when you were in the stadium kind of
Yeah,
area
yeah,
with all
yeah.
the
So
chairs and
I was in
stuff, and you were
Mexico,
doing a little
right?
walkout
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I seen that.
How many people do you see do that? They
Yeah,
just walk.
just walk
They
out.
want and what we do. Remember when like I always bring up Nassim Hamed and people like that who in boxing how they would just do their dance and have fun. Listen, I would almost do a ring walk like that. I mean, I would
Yep.
be like, hey, yo, what's up? Having fun. We need that showmanship, a
Yep.
showwomanship, right, in our sport, and I think that is something seriously missing. So I agree with exactly what you're saying. Now, you said you were purist. But a lot of the purists, unlike you and maybe Keith, don't necessarily or did not necessarily care for the PKB. They did not care for the PMT. They did not care for the semi-contact idea. I know this because I had to fight like crazy to get it
Hmm.
circulated across the country. What made you become? What got you interested in the idea of why the PKB was important to you and your team?
Well, as much as I'm a purist, I'm a realist. You got to face the
Ah,
fact.
I like it.
You got to face the fact. One thing trumps another. Me holding on to ideologies just for the sake of it doesn't necessarily create a greater benefit of something like the PKB for these people that are coming up that want to be fighters but have not yet achieved a certain level to, perform on an amateur level. It gives incentive to keep people in the gym. It gives them an opportunity to get that introduction to being in front of a bunch of strangers and friends and families with someone refing it, some lights, a practice match, if you would, before they go out
Right,
there. Because I remember from my first fight, I lost that fight only on nerves. I was in great shape. I was an absolute animal, mentally, psychologically, just being there, never for the first time. I didn't realize until the middle of the second round that I had great punching ability when I used all my
right,
strength for real.
right,
So having some level of exposure before you actually get out there, you're not trying to kill nobody, but that's a great stepping stone, and it's a necessity in my opinion. The kids in Thailand, they start fighting when they're little kids. These little kids aren't strong enough to knock each other out.
right,
So they're
right,
getting experience in a more or less harmless, environment for many, many years before they're even big enough to really hurt each other. We
right,
have nothing like that until you come across and offer something like PKB. All right.
right, right. Well, I think that is a great answer and a great reason because again, you still have some people out there who have not drank the Kool Aid yet, but now. most organizations out there have their own version of it, right? And of course, it's better than us. Of course, it's all better. Everybody else is always better once they create something after you've already created it, which makes no sense. But the bottom line is, is that it is a good program and it works.
It is.
Why did you feel like it was important to bring this tournament on May 17th to Mobile, Alabama?
The martial arts community here is hungry. They're chock full of guys who, like I said, are just not ready to take that leap. The full contact it's pretty rough out here. It's the wild wild west, and to take that leap is it's tough. There's not a lot of brand, like it's hard to get debut guys with debut guys on this scene. You're
Right,
stepping out against guys with 5, 6, 8 fights for a debut a lot of times.
right,
I
right,
want to give these guys an opportunity to get a little head start ahead of time. That, and then just to be able to bring Muay Thai, period, in any facet to this area in a form of competition is extremely important because, we know what had transpired within all this is in Alabama, there's no Muay Thai.
right.
There's no Muay Thai competitions that are, they're all MMA or kickboxing. So I want it to be a pivotal part of just planting that here in Alabama, since this is where we decided to go ahead and establish roots. We need to bring Muay Thai here. I'm not at a level to put up a full contact show or anything like that. So let's bring IKF out here. You guys have a great organization. You guys have wonderful rules. You guys have a great system set up to get all the things organized for the events. It was just a no-brainer for me after I had my guys go up and do it. And I had a buddy of mine up in Missouri. He does PKB events at his through his gym and had nothing but great things to say. You know, I'd be crazy,
Right,
not to, with the type of goals and things that I have. It just made sense. It was a perfect fit
right.
for us.
Well, you know what? When you have a vision and you see something that is vital and important, similar to what I had to deal with 30 years ago when I created this organization, this was not easy.
No,
This process of getting it in the state of Alabama. Talk to me a little bit about the resistance. Talk to me a little bit about why you think there is resistance, or was. It still maybe still is, but we kind of tempered it down a little bit. But why do you think that is? And the fact that we are bringing this program and we had to jump like so many different hurdles. I mean, every time that we jump one hurdle, they'll put another hurdle. We'll jump that hurdle and they'll put another hurdle. Let's just call it like it is. Johnny Davis Live, real talk with real solutions. Why do you think that resistance was there, Brandon?
I think it's people that are afraid of change.
Mm.
I think it's people who feel
Well,
threatened
darn it,
by.
why did it have to be
Uh,
Alabama of all places with that history? Anyway, I won't go there. I won't go there. But anyway, go ahead.
it, it, I did. Hey, I feel like I was placed here. I was placed here, and I'm going to do
Mm.
what I need to. But I feel that people are afraid of change. There's a status quo. Um, you know, this is something that if they were willing to maybe do what we did, go through the battles that we went to get it, they could have done it before. They didn't. Um, this this space culturally has a dynamic that's meant to keep a certain class here and a certain class here, and everything's been established a very long time ago. A small little rip could potentially bust the whole thing wide open, and I think that's how they see it. And
Right.
allowing this to happen is great. The dynamics that have been prevalent here for such a long time, even if it's just in the combat sports, it was at gut level, a state level, you know, and that
Right.
speaks volumes.
Well,
There's people who have vested interest in not allowing, different organizations to come in and have a shot at um, birthing new endeavors and opportunities, within the martial arts and combat sports community. They want to keep a monopoly and a foothold on things so that, again, they are not threatened.
right.
They want to be able to just do what they've always done and get what they always got. So
Right.
we're here to shake things up, stir things up, and bring something new.
Right. And the great thing about it is that when we go, you're kind of getting a little stutter in there right now. But the great thing about it is that we try to come and we come correct. And we try to, we bring the regulations, we bring the safety protocols, we ensure the event, and all of those things. So we're not just bringing a piece of junk there and bringing some backyard smoker there and everything. I gotta act like before I let you guys go here today. I got, I guess, be a little bit vain in asking how has it been working with the IKF thus far?
Man, phenomenal. I can't tell them everything, Johnny, but the amount of backing and support that I have, I haven't had many people in my personal life, aside from my wife, to go to bat for me like you guys have, man. Um, and we've spoken on the reason why we've pushed so hard. Like I said, these individuals who are really, this is creating that why for a lot of people. And I
Right.
wanted this to happen so much. And you guys fought that fight with me, tooth and nail, until it happened. You're extremely professional. The communication is quick, is well put. It's the teaching and tutelage that's given from top down to help prepare people like me to be in the role that I'm in right now is phenomenal. Um, if you're sitting on the fence about it, get with Johnny. He'll get you where you need to go. That's
All
all I
right.
have to say.
All right. Let's just put it plain. B, what have you seen change about your husband since he's been teaching and now that he's brought on the IKF PKB there and putting that together? What changes have you seen in him?
He's just, I mean, he's always been focused, but he's just very determined now. Like, it's become like this whole thing with the putting on the IKF, he's just become obsessed with it. Like, he's
Mm.
learned the laws inside out, everything about the IKF. He's always watching Muay Thai. It's all now Muay Thai. He's just been
Good.
really focused
Well,
on training. Like,
education is the key.
yes,
Go ahead. No, go ahead and finish. We got a little lag, but go
he's
ahead.
he's always watching Muay Thai. I mean,
You good, buddy?
just like our whole life is Muay Thai. Like we go to the grocery store, he's shadow boxing. Everything is just we eat Thai food. Everything's just Muay
Oh
Thai
God.
now. We watch fights together.
Yeah, you got to bring in that energy, though.
Yes,
We're
Right.
here to bring that here to Alabama. So you got to live in that energy to be able to give it.
Right. You
So,
live it, you sleep it, you eat it. I mean,
yes,
it's
sir.
in all parts of it. I mean, and listen, I'm that way too, but I will say you got to try to get away sometimes, to give her that attention or whatever it might be, the family. What I just said to you, I'm a hypocrite.
Oh
Okay,
Lord.
right. I'm a hypocrite. If you talk to my wife, oh my God, I'm gonna get thrown right under the bus. All right,
So,
because I probably don't. I know I don't do all the things that I need to do because I'm so involved and my phone's always ringing or text call go or something's always going on because we are doing events across the country. I think you guys are phenomenal people. It's really a pleasure working with you guys. Brandon, you've been on it though, man. You've been on it, buddy. I mean, everything I ask, you just boom, 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 boom. You put together some nice stuff, great presentation. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for soldiers. I'm looking for people who drank the Kool-Aid, as I always say,
yes, sir.
and believe in the future of this and what we can accomplish. Like you had Chad on last week talking about where he started just like this. He
Yep.
started just like this. Now he has a show in a couple of weeks where he's probably going to sell out yet again the venue, already having the biggest show he's ever had. I mean, it's going to be phenomenal. Those are the type of things that we can do if we work together. We have loyalty, we have trust, and we have honor, right?
Yes,
And obviously having a work ethic. All of those things are really, really important. Brandon, I'm going to give you last word, sir. What would you like to say to the community?
I would just say, guys, keep on being passionate about what you love. If you're into martial arts, man, do it to the fullest. Teachers, teach. Students, stay humble. Listen to your coaches. Keep your hands up. Husbands, love your wives. Wives, love your husbands. Let's try to make this something that is going to build us up as human beings and, even though there is a level of violence involved, we can channel that energy and do something amazing with it and not let it be destructive and only harness it when we need to. All right.
Awesome.
So that's
Awesome.
it.
Well said. Well said. V, would you like to say something?
I just want to say thank you very much for having us on.
Yep. Thank you,
Awesome.
Johnny.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it for yourself. Let's give it up for Brandon and V. Howie. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being on today. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks,
Thank
Johnny.
you.
Have a good one, brother.
All right, for sure. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it for yourself. Brandon and V. Howard, they're getting ready for something big, for something special coming up May 17th, right there in Mobile, Alabama. I'm looking forward to being there, hanging out, and, just really starting a new culture for the sport there in that area. I know there are already talented people. I know that there are people who love this sport, and I know what the IKF PKB is going to do for that community. I'm excited, like we've done for other areas. I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to be just a small little portion of helping the sport grow and all, because I do think it's going to be something great for many, many years to come. Obviously, our logo there, IKF PKB, is across the country. If you would like to come and join and be a member of the IKF PKB, you can contact us. Our information is on the IKFFightPlatform.com. Another program that we have going on that we are extending and expanding, we just brought on, in fact, our first affiliate gym, and we'll be announcing that real soon with our PBSC Point Boxing Sparring Circuit and all. That is growing. It is going to be the largest it already is the largest semi-contact boxing program that we have in the country. But I'm telling you, it's going to be absolutely huge. So if you have boxing in your gym and you want to become an affiliate of that, you can contact Mr. Rafael Mendoza. He's the VP of Operations. You can go to pointboxing.com for that information, and he can get you the information that you need to become an affiliate and a promoter for the PBSC, Point Boxing Sparring Circuit. Now, let's get this clear. As I said before, this is not full contact. It is not done in a ring. It is semi-contact. There are no knockouts. Knockouts are not allowed in the PBSC. It's done on a matted floor. Full gear is worn. 16-ounce gloves are worn. Now, we got other people starting to do it now, right? But I want you to know, if it doesn't have our stamp on it, it is not us. We are an insured event. We have rules. We have regulations that we follow. I am telling you, the PBSC will be absolutely phenomenal and huge. And it is going to be a great, even though USA Boxing necessarily don't like us, it is going to be a huge incubator for them too. They don't know it yet, but it will be and all. But we still have challenges because we still have some commissioners out there who feel that USA Boxing has a monopoly on the sport of boxing and that other people can't do sparring. That makes no sense. So any commissioner that believes that, we're going to have a hard talk and all, and they really need to look at the rules and the laws of the land for the sport of boxing. No one organization has a monopoly on the sport of boxing. So we're inviting you to be a part of the PBSC. It is a great program that is truly changing the face of boxing. Hope to chat with you more. Give us a call, pointboxing.com. All right, a couple other pieces right here that we have going on. We have several events that are happening across the country. Go to our platform and you can see them for yourself. IKFFightPlatform.com. It's the site where we do all of our events. Everything should be there and all. And look, guys, you got to check them out. We have a lot going on. Let me say this as I wind down. We have for our IKF Fall Classic, we have this gentleman, Mr. Bowings, Gary Bowings, who is our certified super heavyweight champion. He is going to be looking for a match for the fall. If you think you got somebody who's qualified and ready to go in the fall in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Sheridan, he says, hey, I am ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to put my title on the line again and everything. And I think that it'll be a great fight if you got the right person there. Another person that we're going to be looking at here is, I got to pull him up really quick there. Mr. Creighton Chainsaw Davison. He's going to be. We're looking for a fight for him in the at the World Classic, July 18th through the 20th at the Westgate Casino. Creighton weighs about all of 70 pounds or so. He is our current certified champion. He's ready to step it up to a United States title, to a national title. He's promoting. He's on YouTube. He's on Facebook. He's on Instagram. He's inviting and challenging fighters to come out and challenge him for a title because the man is serious. He wants to do it. Listen, in these fight careers of these kids, as well as adults, there's only a small window. There's a small window. If you think you have 11, 12-year-old kid who you think is ready to take this fight on for an IKF certified title, give us a call. All the information is on the platform. All my information is on my Facebook pages and Instagram. Our Instagram, by the way, is AK Promotions Official. Right, so contact us if you will, looking for a challenger for this young man, as we are to try to make it to the next level for him. It's for him, and it's for your fighter too, if he wants to step up and make it happen. We're looking forward to getting your information in so that we can go ahead and get this fight match and just see if it's the right fight for your fighter. And all this guy here is going to kill me right now, because what happens is I get on my show and I start talking and I don't put notes. Mr. Johnson, he is going to kill me, right? But he's also going to be defending his title. He's one of our certified champions as well. And listen, if you want to know who all of our contenders are and everything, contact me and all, and we can give you information. But he's also looking to defend his title coming up in October in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Look, guys, we got fights going on across the country. Absolutely no reason not to get active. If you think you got the best, give them the real test. Have them fight for an IKF certified title, and let's just see where your fighter stands. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to find the best. So many people out there have titles. So many people out there have belts now. We want you to be a part of what we're doing. We want to just prove who's the best. It's a live streaming event. We have them in nice hotels and all that. Whoever you think you have, right? Bring it on, as Mr. Steve Fossum used to say to us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough talking from me today. I want to thank my guest, Mr. Brandon, and his wife, V, for being on today. Always fun having them on. We're looking forward for their event coming up on May 17th in Mobile, Alabama. All right, guys, always respect each other. Forward march. This is Johnny Davis live, and I'm checking out. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.